Welcome to another episode of Barbin Saturdays. And this week I decided to take a look at Journey to the Center of the Earth from 2008. Now, this isn't the version that stars Brendan Fraser. This stars Rick Schroeder, Victoria Pratt, and Peter Fonda. Albeit, I don't know if you can say this movie stars Peter Fonda all that much. He doesn't pop up until the last, 30 minutes of the movie, maybe 20 minutes or so. So, for the most part, we don't see any of him until the very end. And when we do get introduced to him, he's pretending to be a fake god. Or I guess the fake part isn't necessary there, right? He's just pretending to be the god to these people that somehow got to the center of the earth previously, yet think people that come from the surface are gods all of a sudden. Like, why? I mean, you people came from the surface centuries ago and now refuse to leave for whatever reason. I don't get it. They call this place paradise, yet it's filled with man-eating flying reptile bird-like things and plesiosaurs and other deadly monsters, though we don't get to see too much of the deadly nature of this underground at the center of the earth. There's only one person that gets really seriously injured during the journey there, and that's the female character whose name escapes me because I don't really care. She's a Rich Harris, and she's like, I lived in mining camps during my childhood, but I was never taught how to shoot a gun because my father wanted me to be a proper lady. And she gets some welts from a monster grabbing her from the depths of the lake and pulling her under for a bit, and then letting her go and going on its merry way for whatever reason. And during the next serious attack, they're like, well, let's shoot these flying bird things, and the plesiosaur's attacking us. Well, let's kill the flying bird thingies so we can feed the plesiosaur and it'll leave us alone. And it does. And that's basically most of your action scenes in the movie when it comes to the monsters. There is a scene where a bear attacks, but it happens off screen, and we only hear a couple shots fired at it. We don't actually ever see the bear, we just hear the bear. And they lose 2 horses because of it. Not because they got killed, but because they ran away and they didn't catch them in time. Oops. Yeah. There's not that many action scenes, and when we get to the final action scene with the Native Americans chasing them, it's like, you're a false god, and we're gonna kill you. And your friends from the surface. Because they're here. You know, I don't get it. I mean, even if you want to argue that the adventurer that came before them had become a rather arrogant dick, I don't know if I could argue that he didn't bring the natives anything useful, considering his comments on how they go out hunting and many of them would get maimed or killed because of how dangerous the animals are in this underground world that they're in. I don't really get it. I guess they didn't want to be ruled by a surface dweller. I don't get it. Like I said, it doesn't matter. There's not a very good explanation of the politics of this Native American tribe that's living in the underground that came down there centuries ago and thought it was paradise, despite the fact it's filled with man-eating birds and gigantic marine reptiles that will kill you if they can catch you on the lake. I honestly am not sure what they eat too much, because we don't see anything in the forest itself. We never have any, dinosaurs come charging through the trees or something. Like, what on earth are they killing? Are they hunting the birds? And what are the birds surviving on? It's a weird ecosystem that's not well explained. I suppose it didn't need to be, but a bit more thought into it would have been helpful. Just saying. It also might have been better if the movie didn't spend so long trying to get to the center of the earth, because we spent about an hour just working our way there, and a good chunk of that spent planning out the expedition, or working on the best routes, or talking with Sergey about how to get there. It's like, well, maybe we can just barely make it, and all that stuff. You're like, I don't know. It's hard to really make yourself care for the most part. I guess it doesn't help I was playing video games while I was supposed to be watching the movie, but I got so much grinding work to do, I just can't afford to really waste a lot of time. And watching a movie that would be this slow and boring for the most part, and has such a shoddily put together ending. Like I said, the politics for this Native American tribe aren't well explained, and it seemed to be very important. If that's going to be your final finale, your big tense moment is having the Native Americans chase them and shooting them with arrows and threatening them with spears and all that. You would think they'd put more time and effort into explaining how all these politics work instead of just sort of shoving it at us and then quickly causing things to go completely out of control, so we have to run as fast as possible back to the surface. I don't know. I mean, this probably wouldn't be a horrible way to kill time, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Till next time, then. See ya.
It's a plesiosaur, one of the most deadly creatures that's ever lived.